Boom! Right on time every time. What's up, guys? How we doing? All right. Still setting up, still getting ready. Almost good to go. We're almost prepared. I figured I'd start right on time. No problem. So, you know what? We're going to need a sample pack. All right. Sample packs. We're going to break a sample pack. So, let's see. Let's randomize. We'll do one of these four, okay? We'll get into that in a little bit. I'm going to set that aside. These are from... Now, these are interesting. Where are these from? So, we have no label on the back. That means that these are an international pack. They could be from... Let me think now. I think these are from... This is interesting. I'll explain in a minute. All right, so we had those. What do we got? We got some of these. US, because they have the sticker on the back, right? US on this one. No sticker on the back. That means those are internationals. So we have a bunch of US packs here. And let's put those aside for a moment and talk about the one we're doing here. So this one here, it has the sticker on the front, but no sticker on the back. And I think what happened there is we did some alpha breaks, right? We had a box battle, and let me so I have an uncut sheet here, and I have the Drew Tucker avatar. There's only three more of these in this size, 12 by 16. 3 more of the embellished prints from Drew Tucker. So, first come, first serve. Just hit me up, DM me if you want to get one of those. It's $525 shipped for each of those. I gotta label up these things for the break. So, I figured I'll let people get into chat. Oh, Magister, what's up, man? Where the hell you been? You still into it, Magister? I think the out of... Oh, I gotta mute that. I think the out of stock at Team Covenant really... blew up engagement here. Like the Facebook group, the Sorcery Contested Realm Community Facebook group is absolutely insane. I'm getting notifications like all day, every day with people and just like tons of comments. People are just talking about this out of stock news. They're talking about the Rudy sale coming up. That's going to be another 6,000 boxes that come onto the market. And then as far as we know, that's it. You know, I want to see a Philo Stone, no pressure. I still have not pulled a Philo Stone sample card. So what I was about to say, on this pack, so I bought 2 cases, this cost me a friggin' fortune, 2 cases of alpha and 4 sample packs from one guy down in New Zealand. He had a collector tier pledge, and he still had all of his sample packs that he had not opened, and he had... I guess, I don't know how many cases he has. I should hit him up to see. Collector Tier had what? 2 cases, was it, guys? Maybe it was 2 cases. So he had his 2 cases, and I was like, I'll just take everything. You know, we went back and forth for a while. I was like, you know what? I shopped the 2 cases for a while. I reached out to, I won't say their names, but I'd say some prominent figures in the community. And they're like, nah, you know, it's too risky. If I were to open them, I don't know. And another guy was saying like, you know, if I do breaks, I don't know if the margin's there. I don't think so. And then the one case, I did multiple alpha breaks with that case. And we found a non-foil alpha Philo Stone and a foil Philo Stone. So they're kind of kicking themselves. It's unfortunate, but that's how it goes, you know? Sometimes you take a chance, you roll the dice, and you get lucky. Other times, you get smacked in the face. All right, so we're going to have a break. I got those labeled up. Let me make sure I have 15 of these, and I can explain what's going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm going to have to get their name on the wheel in a moment. But let's take a look at what we got here on the overhead. So let's do one of these. One of those. And so we got the Drew Tucker. If you haven't seen this yet, I got a video that I did 2 Fridays ago where Drew Tucker came onto the channel and he explained how he did these embellished prints. You know, so there's like brush strokes and embellishments all over this Pathfinder print. And it really shines on this silver. He was going on and on about this silver paint he used. He loved that. You know, you see it in the aura around the spell. It's casting the spell, and it has DT, 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 DT as initials, is the spell that's being cast around its head, and it's reversed in some areas, you know? So you got a D this way and then a backwards D, and that's it. There's 3 more of those. There were 18 in total, 9 in this size, 9 in the larger 13 by 19 size. The 13 by 19 completely sold out, and there are only 3 left of these. So if anybody wants one of those, just hit me up. Let me put that aside. Next. So we're going to have 2 huge auctions coming tonight. Right now, I'm going to get into sample break in a moment, but what I wanted to show you is the Mix Ignis, right? So this is live right now. Elvira Shakarova, these are her biggest cards, her 4 mixes. Arguably, I mean, her Elementalist is huge. Immortal Throne is pretty iconic. The Mix Ignis, though, that's the Alchemy 9. And there's the beautiful, let me see. See if I get some better lighting. Try not to, comes across a little dark. It's got this like greenish background. Let me see, what's up with my lighting today? Let's try one of these, hang on. Go at an angle. I don't want to singe my forehead under these bright lights. I might just have to eat it though. I don't know, guys. Look at that. Amazing detail. Elvira's paintings are incredible. So that's live for auction right now. That ends at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. And then, so 2 things. This uncut sheet is going to go live tonight, I think. I think I'll run it tonight on the Sorcery community group and the Collector Arthouse Discord, as we always do, mirrored in both locations. So you don't have to be on Facebook. You don't have to be on Discord. You can bid in either place, or you could direct message me and bid privately. And then I have other admins and moderators that validate that. But this is one of the hottest uncut sheets. These uncut sheets are wild. Like, I'm shocked. I've not seen many at all of these come to market. It's extremely rare that these are ever sold, even made available, let alone any public sales records of it. So I have a few of these. This is a consignment deal. It's not mine personally. I do have some that I purchased for myself. So I'm such a nut job. The foil ones weren't enough for me. I had to have the non-foils too. So I ended up having an opportunity to acquire those, so I did. But this one is the one that's going to be offered. You know, this one is epic. It's probably like the biggest exceptional sheet. This is all exceptional rarity. The way these non-foil uncut sheets worked is there were 24 backers at the collector tier, right? So there were 24 sets of these sold. So only popped 24. And what makes this one great, it's interesting, I got these blanks, you know? A couple spots with the blanks. And you see those, sometimes they slip through on prints, you know, they get mixed up in the packs, and some people are finding these blank slots. But what makes this epic is, for one, they're all Atlas sites, you know, so it kind of frames landscape style like an Atlas might. You can see this is the whole thing. It's about the size of a 2-player playmat, more or less. That's what I have it sitting on right now, so you can see by comparison. But it has tons of dual sites on this. You got the step dual. You know, just go row by row. The Watchtower, super popular artwork. That playmat's going nuts for Jeff Menges right now. You got the Windmill by Elvira Shakarova. The Aqueduct by Jeff. So you got 3 duels right there. And there's several duplicates, you know, as they print these for collation. They come up a few times. And then the Ruins by Dan Seagrave is huge. That's been a really difficult pull, it seems. You don't see a lot of those sold. The beautiful Oasis by Marta Molina. So you got about a handful of dual lands all over this uncut sheet. So that's going to be huge. Yeah, it's funny. Sean says, I love those blank and placeholder misprints. Yeah, the misprints are cool. On the sheet, it's kind of mixed. Like, some people are saying, like, oh, it's kind of an eyesore. You got these 2 blanks mixed up. It's not just, like, cards everywhere. Others say that's really cool because it's pure and genuine to the pack collation. That's how it is. Like, you know, Eric was saying in the early days that they didn't make special sheets for the uncut sheets that went into collector tier and avatar tier. These are just as they were for the cards that were made for the packs. You know, these are like the real deal, the actual sheets that were used in the format that they were used for the pack collation and the booster boxes. So this is a big one. It has a lot of dual lands, which makes it super hot, and a lot of great artworks that are super popular. Nice variety of artists. You got Ian Miller, Jeff Menges, Vasily Ermolayev. You know, we now have the Curio variant of the Shifting Sands. Bedrock, the one and only card from Adam Kaspar. Free City has a curio, which is kind of cool. There's curios of several of these too. The Multi-Lands, Marta Molina. You got a great mix of artists here. Oh, the Lighthouse is another duel. Wow, there's like 6 duels on there. It's unbelievable. All right. Enough screwing around. So we got that. We got the sample pack. We have one more. I'll go ahead and preview this. This will probably be coming up sometime in the next few days. So for those that tune in, you get a special treat. I usually don't advance preview. I like the element of surprise. Like, you never know what's going to come for auction night to night at the Collector Arthouse Discord or the Sorcery community group. So it's like a surprise. Almost every day something pops off. The uncut sheet I think I'll run for multiple days. The fire, this ends tonight, right? And then there'll be a couple other mixes that Elvira's been working on. If you're in her Patreon, you get to see previews of what she's working on for artist proofs. So probably sometime after they dry and she ships, those might come within the next couple weeks or so. But that's it for the Elvira's for the near term. There's going to be one artist proof coming tonight. Not that I don't have it in hand to show right now. So it's going to be a surprise. And then there's going to be the uncut sheet. And then over the next couple of days, we have this one from Mikhail Nagypal. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there was one other Pit Vipers. If you remember, he did the zoom in of this snake's mouth. It was like full art on the back with this snake prominently featured. Is wild. And this card, guys, is a pain in the neck when you're playing the game, right? Because it has burrowing, so it's creeping under the earth, and then it has lethal, you know? So it's a 1/1, you know, it's 1 power, 1 to cast. Doesn't matter. It has lethal. So it just creeps up from underground like a pit viper, and it eats your face off and kills you. So really awesome card by Mikhail, and it's an artist proof, you know, from the square corners. Alpha artist proofs have the square corners. Only 25 copies of these from the collector pledges, or from the Kickstarter pledges. Collector and, Avatar of the Realm only. The collector tier did not have artist proofs. So you have 25 that were given to the artist, and you had the 4 from the Kickstarter, pop 29 total. And here's the artwork for this one. Super cool. Look at that. Look at that detailed scenic background with this nasty pit viper snake wrapping around these trees. Unbelievable. Hey, Kyle, thanks for popping in, man. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and spill the beans. We got a special artist proof from Kyle coming tonight. It's only the second one Kyle's ever done. And it's a new card that he hasn't done before. And it looks freaking incredible. He sent me some great pictures of that and a little video vignette, which will get featured over the next day or so. So we'll have Kyle's tonight. We'll have the uncut sheet tonight. And then sometime over the next couple of days, you'll have this one from Mikhail Nagypal. This is actually number 2 of 25. Yeah, so as I was saying, he's offered only one of these so far. And this is the number 2. Really amazing, this snake. All right. So set that aside. What I need to do, I'm going to have to get my cutting tool in a moment. But we need to go and share the screen for the Wheel of Names. So let's do one of these. Hang on just a moment. Entire screen. The wheel. We got some old names. Oh, no, those are default names. All right. Yeah, Axe Tool. You want to do Axe Tool tonight? Today? No nunchucks? All right. So what's going on, guys? Let's chat a little bit while I punch the names in here since I was ill-prepared. We got sale 1, 2, 3, 4 for 1. There was no limit this time on pack slot buy-ins. So a couple guys have 2. Robert has 2. Bunch have 1. And I don't sell these live. I pre-sell them, you know. And then so I don't have to get distracted with that. We can just talk about sorcery, get into the packs, have a good time, have some fun. It's a good excuse and reason to go live with you guys every weekend. We've done like every weekend for months. It's insane. Next weekend, I was telling the guys in my Discord, Collector Arthouse Discord, that I probably will not do any kind of break. I won't do alpha. Someone was asking about alpha breaks. We'll do those for sure at some point. But next week, the wife's going out of town, so I'll be with all 3 kids. If I can get the youngest to fall asleep, I will probably do an impromptu live and talk about all things sorcery, the market, the distribution strategy, whatever current events The Dust Store might go live this weekend. I mean this week. We don't know. So let's see. Yeah, 15. All right, I got 15 names on the wheel. We're good to go. Comby Bolin. How many packs left? How many sample packs do I have left? I'm always acquiring sample packs. If you guys have sample packs to sell and they're not $1 million, I am in the market at all times. I think I have, I don't know, close to a dozen, 10 to 12 packs left in stock right now. I think someone's going to be sending me a few, so I'll either straight up buy them, or sometimes I'll do like a consignment arrangement where I'll essentially buy them basically and then do a break. But yeah, I'm always looking to buy more because I don't want to run out. You know, I want to like be able to sustain this and do this long term and have some fun doing lives for a while. Let me get my X tool. Dan says axe tool. Axe tool for Christmas. All right. So that's what we're going to do. We got 25 people live. Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's Easter Sunday. It's a little unpredictable. I didn't know how many people I'd get. I did a like no notice, like 15-minute notice live on Friday, right after the news about Team Covenant selling out a beta broke, and we had like 100 people the whole time. It was amazing. That's pretty good. You know, my channel's not massive. I don't like invest a lot of energy in trying to be smart about growing the channel, because I do lives, and that's like the worst possible way to grow, because it's not like recorded evergreen content. Like if I really wanted to invest in growing this channel, I would make like a how to play, and then I'd have to invest time in playing. But like a how to play works perfectly for channel growth, because that is something that people will constantly come back to and that people will readily share with their network. But, you know, lives are hard to find organically, and people don't really share a live, you know, because it's like a needle in a haystack to find out. I don't know if I want to use this, this axe tool, because I want to cut this cleanly. Okay, here we go, guys. I'm going to go to top angle. Again, there's a lot of give in these packs, so there's a lot of margin for error to get under the lip without coming anywhere close to the cards. But you still got to be careful so you don't have a slip of the axe tool. All right, we should be good with that. That'll get me going. Rudy's promo controversy should be fresh next weekend. Yeah, actually, if I can get on, I'll probably be off work again on Friday. I think his sale goes live on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So I think I don't know, like I was saying, I'll do the uncut sheet auction for a few days, but I'll end it no later than Wednesday or Thursday, because people are going to be distracted and busy trying to buy his kit. I'm sure it'll sell out very fast because Sorcery is super hot, and at the moment, conveniently, it's the only way to get beta. So that works out great for Rudy. You know, if he keeps his pricing fixed and stays true to his word, then he comes across as a hero. And man, he comes across as a hero because he simply did not raise his price on what he already said he would do. So all you have to do is say what you're going to do, and you're a hero in this situation, because it's the only place to buy now. If he jacks up price, that would be pretty controversial. And then he wins in the way he likes to win, because it'll draw a bunch of attention to his channel. And you guys will watch his content and find out how entertaining he is. And go support him on Patreon and whatnot. So it's like a no-lose situation. And he's just going to sell it super fast regardless, because he has a big following. And that's, you know, of course, why the company partnered with him, because it commands a large audience. All right, so guys want me to pull. First thing that was said was the Philo Stone for Magister. I pulled a Philo Stone for Magister. Who got the Philo Stone that I pulled like a month ago? It's an Alpha Philo Stone. Am I that? Oh, it's Kyle Wilson. Of course. Kyle. And then I pulled the what's up with that sleeve? Like a defective sleeve. Can't have that. With these Grail collectibles. Sometimes you get some factory dust on the card. It's pretty wild. Um, I didn't pull a Trill Wolpertinger yet. I did pull the only time stop by Severin Pinu. The only time step ever discovered in the world happened on this channel, baby. How about them apples? All you had to do was open 20 packs. No big deal. It was like pack 17 or 18. So, you know, these uniques and elites are absurdly rare. And for some of them, people are paying thousands of dollars, you know? And early on, people were like giving me shit like, oh, look at this. Like he's auctioning these sample cards for a fortune. It's going to tank the game. Like pre-alpha era, you know? The haters and the toxic naysayers were all complaining, saying, bad for the game, right? And then you got other aspects of the market are saying like, this is amazing. This guy helped foster a market for sample cards and is telling the history of the game, which is very interesting and very fun for people that are passionate about upstart indie TCGs, and publicly demonstrating value and credible sold listings, you know, that are public on the Facebook group. Anyone can join the group and go search for those auctions. Just search, plug in the search feature a card title, and you'll see all the auctions that happen since the beginning of time. It's a great public database of recorded sales for sample cards. You know, and it drew like a ton of attention to the game. It established some credibility and said like, this game is not messing around. This game of sorcery is valued and is highly desirable by a very passionate market. And then we saw like a lot of the Magic fans coming in, the old school Magic guys, right? These guys that have like big money collections, and they could, you know, I talked to some of them and they're like, well, the top card in sorcery is like 10 grand for a Philo Stone or whatever it is now, maybe 6 raw or whatever. I don't know, it's probably going up now that beta's sold out. But they're like, yeah, an Alpha Stone, I could get the Grail collectible for probably less than 5 figures. So, you know, I could sell like a couple of my old Magic cards and raise the cash, and I could have the Grail of sorcery and just take a flyer, and maybe this is a big deal, this game, you know? It's not that big a deal if they let go of a few of their old collection. They could diversify away from Magic, which is going through some interesting times. All right, so we have one Atlas site card. And pretty accessibly for those major players, which this target demographic strongly resonates with, they could get into these Grail cards and Grail collectibles. And those are some of the guys that buy into these sample packs, because these samples are absurdly rare. There are 244 packs across the Kickstarter campaign from the top high-end pledge tiers, right? And I got this guy, Eric, in my Discord. And you see him in the other Discords, official Discord. He's all over the place. Eric made an amazing spreadsheet. And if you go to collectorarthouse.com, I can show you guys if you remind me when I pull up the website, when I go to the wheel. I have the Google Sheets spreadsheet link there. And with each of these breaks, Eric, A-R-I-C, not Eric Olafson, but A-R-I-C, Eric, or Arik, he maintains this spreadsheet. And he is recording all of the sample packs that have been opened as best as he can tell. You know, if he sees a for sale listing on any of the forums, whether that be in Marketplace Discord or Facebook Buy Sell Trade Group, or, you know, my breaks, he asked me like where these packs came from. There he is, Eric Meyer. Yeah, he's keeping this amazing spreadsheet, doing God's work there. And you go on collectorarthouse.com to Collector's Corner, and you could find that spreadsheet link there. You could access it anytime, and he's keeping track of the packs that have been opened. And Eric, you chime in chat, man. How many packs are you tracking that have been opened? I think he's tracking that, and he's also tracking the singles hits. So we're getting an idea of how many of the uniques, elites, exceptionals. I think he's only tracking at the unique, elite, and exceptional level, not so much at the ordinary level. But at those 3 higher end rarity levels, we're getting a sense of the pop size of these cards, and it's alarmingly small. Like, I think, Eric, how many of the uniques have been found? Like the most for any single unique. I want to say, is it like 4 cards? Like 4 copies? 4 copies. I mean, think about what if sorcery becomes big? I mean, it's pretty small right now, let's be honest. It's not massive. It's not like, it's not even on the order of Magic or Flesh and Blood. I mean, obviously not Magic, but I mean like Flesh and Blood or MetaZoo even at its peak. I mean, the game just came out, right? So he says there's 127 packs total have been opened. 70 of those are from pledge packs. Okay. So, yeah, for Kickstarter pledges is what he means. So there were other packs in the early days that were given out to early adopters, like people that really helped support and promote the game. I think the company sent me like one art pack. So there were silver packs like these, right? They were blank. They didn't have the void sticker. They were just silver like this, no artwork. And then there were some that had the artwork on it. So it was like a separate set, which I presume Eric had printed to test out the print quality of the packaging of what he would see on the booster boxes and on the booster packs themselves. Oh, Matt's Magic Emporium. What's up, man? Are you like a store or something? I don't recall seeing that name before. You have one pledge unopened? Well, hit me up then. What are you doing at that? I'm trying to open every pack on the planet. Help me out here. Just hit me up. I'll buy that thing. We'll open it. No problem. I can help you there. All right. So Eric says 3 copies. All right. So the most we have ever seen is 3 duplicate copies of any given unique card and 4 copies at the Elite Rarity. At the Elite Rarity, 4 copies. That is absolutely absurd. Extremely rare. So for the uniques, yeah, 3 copies of Crusade and 3 copies of Maelstrom. I think I pulled a Crusade on the channel, if I remember correctly, and I'm pretty sure I pulled a Maelstrom too. I want to say Red Zone Rogue, he was given 12 sample packs, and I think he opened 2 Maelstroms. Or, I don't know, I had a spreadsheet once upon a time that tracked all the cards that were opened by Team Covenant. Team Covenant got a full booster box of sample cards, guys. Unbelievable. You imagine just being handed a full booster box of sample cards? Some of these guys got like a full pre-con deck kit, 4 decks, full pre-con kit of sample cards. Louis and a few other guys. Who are the other guys? I wrote an article about it. It's freaking unbelievable. That's just like being handed $10,000, $10, $15, $20,000. There you go. There you go. Thanks for existing on YouTube. I mean, some of those are strategic partners, of course, like Team Covenant, but what a freaking dream. Imagine being handed like a box of sample packs to just open on the channel. Like, what great content that is. Unbelievable. So yeah, that's the provenance. There was some onesie twosie sample packs given out here and there to people that supported the game early, and then most of them came from the actual Kickstarter pledge. So let's see. Cards are all going to be HP by the time Mike's done shuffling. So here's the process. I sleeve them all up individually, and then I carefully shuffle it up like that, right? I don't do like old poker style, like bend them up. All right, excited to see the sample cards for AL. Now, Simon has said many times there will never be sample cards again. It's almost as if they regret it, but I mean, they made it premium, right? It was in the higher end. It was in the high end pledge tiers of the Kickstarter. So that tells you it's like a coveted Grail collectible right there. It was almost marketed as such. And then like in the early days, no one was buying them on eBay. They were just sitting there, like $100, no big deal. I think Too Fluent might have bought one of the first ones, and then all of a sudden, like, I started doing the auction system and stuff, and telling the stories of the provenance, and like we started discovering the differences between the sample packs and then the evolution of the cards. They do these patches and updates for Tabletop Simulator in the pre-alpha era before Kickstarter came out, and we'd see these cards changing, the titles, the casting cost, the card mechanic. It was unbelievable. It was really fascinating and exciting because a lot of these are like super OP too. And it's just really interesting to see the early design and like how that had to change as we play tested more and how those cards evolved and ultimately how it got into alpha. So yeah, now they're like really high demand and really popular, and they're like 100 some packs have been opened. So they're getting really, really hard to acquire. All right. I think he meant the randoms given out from TC for AL subscribers. Which sample cards are TC giving away for AL then? Yeah, well, what happened was, so what they did, they were given a booster box of sample cards, Team Covenant, right? And then very wisely, this is a very smart business decision, right? They said, if you subscribe to Arthurian Legends, we will give you 1 sample card. And they said their sub quantities are probably larger than the number of sample cards they have, which is insane. So it's not guaranteed. But what a brilliant marketing play, right? Like, you're given a box of sample cards, and then if you sign up for a subscription where you can continue to buy from us, we'll give you one of these sample cards, right? So isn't that smart? Instead of just trying to flip all the cards, you get people hooked into your subscription model. It works out beautifully. It's a win-win. So yeah, it was smart business decision. I mean, I'm not knocking it or criticizing. I'm saying smart play by Zach and the team. That's a good move. They did have like a Christmas event, which was also nice. You know, they took care of their employees, and they said, I think they had like 10 employees or so. They said, like, you can cherry pick like one sample card from all the cards we opened, and they gave those away to their employees. But yeah, the rest they used as like a marketing mechanism to hook people into their subscription model, which is great for them, and a nice value for you guys if you sign up for their subscription, if you're lucky to get one. You know, they did caveat that it's not guaranteed for everybody, but it's a lot, like in a booster box. TC is giving out leftover, yeah, from their box. All right, so we talked about that. All right, you guys want to get into it? Where's the pack? Right here. All right, we need the wheel is what we need. All right, so we're going to the wheel. All right, so let me show you where this spreadsheet is. This is pretty unbelievable here by our guy Eric. 42 people following today. I think that might be a high for the sample pack. So thank you guys for tuning in on Easter Sunday, blowing off your families like that. It's a beautiful thing, really. It's touching. All right, collectorarthouse.com, Collector's Corner. All right, so you want to go to Sample Card Gallery, right? And this is woefully outdated, right? I haven't updated this in ages. These are actually, I don't know if it's all, but it's like most of the sample cards that I auctioned before Kickstarter was even released. So these various people, as I mentioned, these sample packs made it out into the wild. Various people that helped support the game early on. Some people that got pre-con kits and this and that, like all these different sources. There were sample cards out there, and people attained them. I think Red Zone Rogue might have sold some to some of his patrons, and he ended up selling like his, I think his collection. You know, he also, yeah, he got 12 sample packs, as I said, right? And he ended up selling those. So a bunch of those came from there and different sources. I mean, I'm not leaking anything sensitive. Like, he openly advertised that they were for sale and sold them. He said to fund his channel and stuff, right? So people sell for whatever reason. Who cares? You know, you can't criticize somebody for selling something. I don't think it means they don't like. It doesn't mean they don't like the game. It's whatever. It's whatever. People sell for all kinds of reasons. Should never judge or criticize. So good on him. He made a killing on that. And then the guy he sold to, we ended up auctioning a bunch of these. And this is how like a lot of these on this page came to market. So this is a great resource and database. You go to collectorarthouse.com, Collector's Corner, Sample Card Gallery, and you see all the old sample cards. This is one of the first record sales, the Spear of Destiny. But it's a nice reference because then you can see what the mechanic used to be, kind of like some level of authenticity to see if someone has one out there publicly available. You could cross-reference and see if it matches up to these old samples in the archive. But at the top, there's this link here, and it says Sorcery Sample Cards Google Sheets. You click that, and this is the spreadsheet that Eric, A-R-I-C, not E-R-I-K, is keeping. All right, and this is the record he's keeping of all of the sample cards that have been pulled. You know, you click on polls, you kind of see the data, estimates. Man, this is unbelievable. I'm going to have to get Eric on for like a walkthrough. There's so much data here. Every time I look at it, I got to reorient myself. I guess you go to the summary page and you say out of 338 cards total, you can see he's tracking the uniques, elites, and exceptional pretty closely. And you got sites and spells. Look at the site card numbers. 49 site cards, 285 spell cards. So only 14.5% of cards are the sites. To get sites are extremely rare. You see the evidence in this pack. There's only one Atlas site in the whole 15 card pack. So unbelievably rare. All right, Silly Draco. I was just about to I was teasing getting started, and then I got distracted, and he's like, let's just get this show on the road. Come on. Blowing off my family for this nonsense? All right, so we got to shuffle the wheel, and let's get this show on the road. First spin, here we go. 15 slots. You can buy them on Collector Arthouse Discord. Join the Discord. The link's always in the description. Double G. He has 2 in the pack. And so he's going to be first. Right off the top, we got Double G. All right. Cosmic Seeds. What's up, man? All right, Double G coming off the wheel. Let's take a look. Right off the top, a Spellbook card. Jack, you're creeping in already, man? Come on. All right. Teleport. Awesome. All right, so Teleport, great artwork by Vincent Pompetti. Vincent did a lot of artist proofs. So the Teleport's completely sold out. So this is like a very popular, strong card. So in the early days, zero to cast. There's only 1 threshold. It says a quick, silvery flow of ordinary magic. Teleport target minion to any site. All right, so let's take... no whammy. So it's not the Philo Stone, so Magiter's disappointed. Let's take a look now at... You go to Sorcery Cards, Vincent Pompetti. We got no whammies. All right, so let's take a look at the Teleport. All right, so now it's 2 to cast. Look how OP this was in the early days. Cost you nothing to cast, just 1 threshold, right? And then now this updated to 2 to cast. Let's give it a click. Is that better? Yeah, it's a little better. 2 to cast. The name did not change. It says ordinary magic of abrupt relocation. Target an ally to the surface of target site. All right, so the effect is similar. Let's see what's up with the flavor text here. It says in the last... I'm going to read off the sample card first. In the last act, there was no real sense of how much time was passing, and it felt like everyone was just teleporting everywhere. Dapperel Theater Critic. Interesting, because you have the Dapperel Vampire, right? But now it says on the alpha version, there was no real sense of time passing, and in the last act, it felt like everyone was just teleporting everywhere. Highland Theater Critic. Interesting. Did they make that up? So you got Highland, you got Dapperel. You know, those are different terms that come up across alpha cards, alpha and beta. So these with adjustments made in production are awesome. Yeah. That's the beauty of it. It's like it's a printed, archival, real piece of sorcery history in print form, direct from the print factory. You know, there's like these home... I can show you guys later if you want. There's these print cards that like some of the employees and Eric and others printed. And I have some of the Spellcraft cards too. I've showed those a few times on the channel, but different things. And it's not the same as printed at the factory. You know, these pre-production cards are the real deal from the factory. So those make them very unique and special. All right, back to the wheel. All right, guys. H-Cho. H-Cho. H-Cho loves the samples. He's been in on a few of these. He said he might not make it to the break. So if he doesn't make it, I should bust his chops and troll him a little bit. So let me see. Let me see. How can I troll the Cho? You trolled a Cho on Easter Sunday? Huh? Huh? Cho. Troll Cho. He said I'll watch it back later. He just wanted to make sure I crushed him on live TV. There we go. Common Sense. Damn, that's a banger. All right, so it's an ordinary, but this is one of the most meta-relevant cards in Alpha. So this is huge as a sample card. This is probably, you know, that's what makes for a high-end ordinary. One of the many, right? There's some cards that were not used in Alpha, but to have one of the most meta-relevant card, that would be like pulling a grapple shot sample card. Common Sense, sick, man. That's a big hit. So you get big hits at all rarities. But Common Sense, yeah, everyone in chat is saying, wow, sick art. Yeah, it's an awesome artwork. This is like young Drew stoking the flames. It was kind of like, I think he posted it on his own social media, and one of his followers in chat said like, hey, Drew, that kind of, I forget if I asked him or if it was like, as I recall, I think it was on his social media, someone asked him if that's him, and he was like, yeah, it kind of looks like me, doesn't it? He never quite wants to give away his secrets. But it's really awesome. You kind of see, this guy looks like he's got like a cross on his chest, like a Templar or something. I don't know if I'm just imagining that or if it's an illusion, but there's these 3 guys just hanging out, kind of like ho-hum. And this guy's doing his work on this cart or whatever this is. So the ordinary appears as magic to some. Search your spell book for an ordinary card, reveal it to your opponent, and draw it. Shuffle your spell book. Now let's see if that changed at all in the... man, that's a banger for H-Chow. It's unfortunate he couldn't see it live. He probably would have been pretty excited. So let's go take a look at Drew Tucker. And common sense. All right, so it was 1 to cast and 1 threshold. It became 2 and 1 threshold. The ordinary appears as magic to some. That did not change at all. You know what's interesting? Like these subtle differences. Eric's such a perfectionist. Take a look at this. So at the end of the type line text here, he's got a punctuation period at the little phrase, right? So he kind of cleans that up in alpha. And he's like, wait a minute, you can't have a period on a sentence fragment. It's actually, the ordinary appears as magic to some. It's actually a legit English sentence. But type line text does not have period, like punctuation. It doesn't have a period at the end of the sentence. So that was changed. And then in common sense, it says, search your spellbook for an ordinary card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, shuffle your spellbook. All right. So it's, some wording changes a little bit, but otherwise kind of the same. The flavor text was fairly simplified on the sample card. It says, common sense is the genius of humanity by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. And then, interesting, different attribution here on the flavor text for the alpha card. It says, common sense is the most widely shared commodity in the world, for every man is convinced that he is well supplied with it. René Descartes. All right, so they actually changed the flavor text. Common sense is the genius of humanity. That's a real nice flavor text from Alpha. It's bittersweet on some of these. Like some of the sample card flavor text was pure gold. We've talked about this a lot over the course of the breaks. And they changed it. And in some ways, it was great changes for Alpha. I kind of wish like the old flavor text had prevailed. Especially on, I'll show you. You know which one. Severin? This card. This card right here, Sleep. This one had a pretty good flavor text. You should look into it from the old print files. Go take a look at that at your leisure. All right, 13 to go. No screwing around. Yeah, that's one of the top ordinaries. Oh, Too Fluent. Too Fluent. The evil twin of Too Fluent. How about that typing spello? Spelling typo. Typing spello, I said. Is that what I said? Typey spello? Something like that. All right, we're down to 12. Yeah, I got flustered as I was typing it in. We were talking about, I don't know, Team Covenant or something. Here we go, Too Fluent. One in the pack. Too Fluent, you blew it. Let's hope not. Good luck, man. Silly D. Oh, Outback Strider. I don't recall pulling many of these. The interesting thing with ordinaries is there's a ton. It's a massive set, right? So you don't even pull a lot of duplicates of the Outback of the ordinary level. And the Outback Strider, this is interesting, man. This card looks like super dark as a sample card, yet it's pretty vibrant. It's not coming across on camera here again because of the lighting, but the sky is actually fairly light and vibrant here behind the Strider, and then the pinkish hue of the flowing river here really stands out. This is a beautiful artwork by Tony Sudlow, and he did the detailed sketch he did of this is incredible. Maybe I could find it on the website in a moment. An ordinary mortal from a distant land. Again, it has a period at the end of the line. I never noticed this before in prior breaks. They got rid of the period at the end of the sentence. So that's another distinguishing factor. People say, is there an easy way to distinguish sample cards? There's a few ways. Yeah, there's the copyright symbol. There's the period, apparently, at the end of the type line text. There is casting cost change, sometimes title change, oftentimes type line text change, and oftentimes card mechanic change. That's what makes it cool. So it says, this Strider may be summoned in any site in the leftmost or rightmost column, but not anywhere else. So there's a lot of these effects where you could summon to the left side and right side. I remember a few other cards had that. Didn't the Courtesan Tice have that? Or does it still? I don't know, guys. Hang on. Let me check. Let's check for Zeta really quick before we go to... Was it the old Courtesan that did that? Yeah, it's definitely not the court. Maybe it wasn't the courtesan. Was it the ruler of Thul? The ruler of Thul says you can move from top and bottom edges as if they're connected in the realm. I don't know. I want to say the older version of the courtesan or one of these Frazetta cards had a similar type mechanic of casting in the left and rightmost column. But let's go check out Tony Sudlow. And Tony's cards are very rare because he doesn't have many at the ordinary level. And I think the Outback got upgraded, right? Yeah. So here's another common change. It was ordinary as a sample card, and it changed to exceptional as an alpha and beta card. So it was 4 to cast, 4 power. They downgraded that a bit to 3 to cast and 3 power. All right, so still the same equilibrium. An ordinary mortal from a distant land is what the sample says. And now the alpha card says an exceptional mortal finds solace in solitude. No period at the end of the type line text. So it moves freely between unoccupied land sites. Wow. So tremendous change here from the sample card. Moves freely between unoccupied land sites. It used to be this Strider may be summoned in any site in the leftmost and rightmost column, but not anywhere else. Man, that was a massive change for the Strider. Did I pull one of those before? I know Eric's not tracking at the ordinary level, but I don't recall pulling this card that much. Yeah, it's a beautiful artwork. So, Cosmic, you said that multiple times already, man. That's the beauty of sorcery, right? The art's incredible. Let me find here, guys. Let's go to Facebook and hope nobody DM me with anything too wild. That's a risk. Look at it. 17 notifications. Oh wow, Rodney Matthews. Oh man. Let me say hi to my guy Rodney really quick. Rodney Matthews, the nicest guy in the world, guys. I had the great honor I was stunned. He was willing to work with me, of all people, to help auction a couple of his artist proofs. And there'll be more in the future. He's just an extremely busy guy. But man, Rodney Matthews, what a freaking legend. And he came on my show. It was such a beautiful thing for the beta box opening. I was really honored to have him on. So let's go to the Sorcery community group and do a search for Outback Strider. I want to say age. Here you go, guys. There it is. All right, so this sample card. Okay, so there was one ages ago. Look at this process sketch by Tony. Look at that. He does the greatest sketches, man. And he does horses so well. He said when he did the Birthright art back in was it the 90s, early 90s, maybe even 80s? He did these horses. It was this huge battle scene. There was these horses everywhere. So he kind of got typecasted as like the horse guy. So everyone wants to commission him for horses. But look at this beautiful horse, man. It looks like someone just ripped the legs right off the carousel. So nice. The guy is so good, man. What a great artist. All right. Back to business here, guys. Let's close. I'll leave Facebook up. What's the big deal? All right. So we got 12 left. Yep, we're 3 in. Spinning the wheel. And I never pulled Outback Strider. That's awesome. Yeah, so the one I auctioned ages ago was, like I said, that was their early days, well before Alpha. So that was my first ever pull of Outback Striders. In 20 packs. First time ever pulling Outback Striders. In Ordinary. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how rare these cards are. All right, Robert. Robert has 2. So we'll grab his first. Go from the top. 48 minutes in. We're 4 cards in. Par for the course, guys. That's how we roll. Digesting your Easter brunch. Here we go. Fate Changeling. This is a hilarious, hilarious card and artwork by Drew. You got the monster baby in the crib, and you got the real baby being stolen away by this demon. Timbo, happy Easter to you and everybody else. All right, the Fate Changeling. 2 to cast, 1 threshold, 1 power, an ordinary mythic, and most unwelcome guest. What is less welcome than this demon stealing your baby and leaving this freak monster behind in the crib? You wake up Easter morning, you say, oh, where's my pretty little baby? Where's my baby? And then whammy, look at that face. Drew Tucker, man. He's got some hilarious, amazing artwork. That is a freaky... Look at how freaky that baby is. Who's hanging this one in their living room? Has this been purchased yet? What an artwork by Drew. Easter Sunday, you find the monster in the wooden crib. Who puts their baby in a rough wooden crib like this anyway? They almost deserve it. There's no blankets in there. He's got the one blanket. He's got no hat on. You know, the ears are exposed. Look, the baby's got nothing. The baby's buck naked. He put the blanket on the baby, on the monster baby. He's like, just give me the baby. I got to get out of here. And he's caught red-handed through the window. Unbelievable. All right, so this changeling may be played on any occupied site. Unsummon target minion there when you do. All right, so let's go take a look and see what has become of our beautiful little baby boy. Drew Tucker, the Fey Changeling. All right, guys. So it's now 3 to cast. Got nerfed a little bit. It's more expensive. Oh, so another one. It went from ordinary to exceptional. So a significant rarity change here. An exceptional fairy and unwelcome guest. All right, so they got rid of the term mythic. This term mythic is like a... Look at this again. This term mythic was kind of like a staple on some of these sample cards. And they got rid of mythic, and they went to the term fairy. Maybe summon to any site. Genesis, you may return a minion here to its owner's hand. Pretty cool. Ordinary to exceptional. So a big rarity change there. That's always cool to see. No name change. The casting cost did change. And some of the wording details. All right, so we're going to go now back to the wheel. Give it a spin. Mythic is probably coined by MTG. Yeah, I don't know if they have... I don't think they copyright like the lingo they use or the terms per se. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe they changed it to be different. Yo-Yo B. Right off the top. All right. Yo-Yo B is in for 2. So he's going with the first of 2. 50 people on Easter Sunday. Unbelievable. Here we go, Yo-Yo. Ooh, Cloud Spirit, man. This is a lot of people's favorite artwork from our guy, Mikhail Nagypal. I showed the Mikhail Nagypal artist proof that's coming. Bunch more people joined since I previewed this, but this is going to be coming up this week over the next couple of days. Pit Vipers by Mikhail Nagypal. Only the second artist proof to be offered from Mikhail. Look at it. Look at the nature scene. The details of the forest, the grass. Really incredible. The dimensional perspective in this winding snake. Guy's the man. The pareidolia effect. Cloud Spirit. 2 to cast, 1 threshold, 2 power level. An ordinary spirit soars in these skies. Airborne movement +2. And I think there was a tweak to the flavor text on this one. Let's see. Children picture creatures in clouds. Children picture creatures in the clouds. Innocence sees what wisdom cannot. That is the line. Innocence sees what wisdom could not. Talking about the imagination of children. So if we go back now to collectorarthouse.com, sorcery cards, Mikhail Nagypal, and let's take a look at the evolution of Cloud Spirit. All right, so it's 2 to cast and 2 threshold instead of 1. Still 2 power level. An ordinary spirit chases the wind. That's cool. It used to be soars in these skies, which I also like because it looks like a soaring spirit in the cloud. Airborne movement +2. No change there. Children sense beings that we cannot. An innocent seen what wisdom forgot. That has a nice touch to it as well. Can't be mad at that one. Very nice. Cloud Spirit by Mikhail. Let's go see. Let's take a quick little detour. Again, if you go to the Sorcery community page, and what you want to do is a search for any card or any term you want. But let's take a look at Cloud Spirit. It's a lot of like great history. I've been posting. Oh, well, this was an amazing artist proof that Mikhail did. So this was a soaring. Took some people a minute to see it, but look at this soaring raven through the sky. He's been doing a lot of crossover concepts with his pieces. So you see the raven soaring as the pareidolia effect. But what I wanted to show was, let me sort by me. And to narrow it down, this is the original painting for Cloud Spirit. So it's a great archive of media here that I've posted, many other people have posted. There's a link to an interview with Mikhail. You could go find an original piece for Cloud Spirit. And actually, let's jump to that. So this is going to take us to the Collector Arthouse website again. Yeah, so, okay, so I did a Behind the Art feature. If you go to Sorcery Behind the Art, and you click on any of these cards, you get insights from the artist and these little article vignettes I wrote up about the art. So you click on Cloud Spirit, and wow, look at this. An ordinary spirit hovers over the heavens. It's hard to see. It's not coming across. You got to go to the website. So that type line text is different from the sample card, and it's different from the alpha card, right? Let's go back to the alpha card. The alpha card says, an ordinary spirit chases the wind. The sample card says, an ordinary spirit soars in the skies. And now, the article that I wrote back in 2022 timeframe, early 2022, before alpha was finalized, it said, an ordinary spirit hovers over the heavens. Another beautiful line. So that is indicative of one of the print file changes. So there's so much history on the website. There has been so much change between the sample card, different variants of the print file, and then ultimately the final print file that went to print for alpha. Unbelievable. And it was, again, so the casting cost was similar to the sample card. So that must have been printed around those changes. But here you see, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not showing it here. All right, so here we go. So there's the card. There's the change type line text. So we have that archived for the history of time on the website. And this was the painting that inspired. So in some cases, Eric discovered these artists through their ArtStation pages or various sources. And in other cases, artists just drew inspiration from their own projects. Eric would give them a very high-level single narrative and say, like, I need a card that essentially does this. Or here's like a 2-sentence description of like what this card is, what it's going to do, right? And then they would come up with the illustration concept to kind of mirror that, or, think of an idea. Sometimes they do a few thumbnail sketches, like the pictures I've been showing of Elvira's work for the mixes. And sometimes they pull inspiration from pieces they've already done, and then they go back and forth, and Eric would have them change it and augment it, right? So he actually, Mikhail had this other painting. You have this huge spirit in the sky. Really accentuated pareidolia effect here, but very minimalistic nature surround, like this deep, deep valley. It's this big juxtaposition that really accentuates the spirit. So I guess in some back and forth with Eric, the design was evolved, and you get this more mountainous structure, right? And then this was the final piece that was used for the card. So that's pretty cool and interesting. It's a little better balanced. And then when you have the text box overlay, you get this mountainous peak for a little balance to have against the cloud. Because you can imagine here, if you put the text box on the original piece, it completely chops off half the torso of this cloud spirit. So you almost have to have that mountainous range to force the pareidolia effect in the cloud in the more, like, in the top part of the card, but below the text box. So this is beautifully balanced, right? So now you have the title box, and this was like one of the first cards. This was like back when I was auctioning things pre-alpha. You can see this one pretty nicely. So you have the text box, then you have the spirit, and then you have some balance against the mountains, and it just pops beautifully and really draws your attention to the spirit. Interesting piece of history. All right, guys, let me close that down. Go back to the wheel. All right, and by the way, before I forget, I always forget, like, subscribe, comment. People never comment on my videos. Come on. We got like 40, 50 people watching. We had 100 on Friday. No one leaves a comment. It's hard enough to discover the lives as it is. So if you're having fun, you enjoy the channel, help draw awareness to it by liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting. It all helps the algorithm for a guy that does almost lives exclusively. Cosmic has commented a few times. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's difficult, guys. When you do lives, you don't grow as a channel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I need to do more recorded content, but if I have very limited time. So if I'm going to allocate my time, I'd rather do like a community engagement type thing and do live events. I think that's a lot of fun. All right, Mule Man. Mule Man said he'd be watching with the family today. So if you're out there, Mule Man, I hope you guys are having a great Easter and enjoying some family time around the TV. And if you want to go back and enjoy your day after your pull here, feel free to do so. But if you're there, thank you for being with us. And happy Easter to you and the family, my man. All right, right off the top, you're going to end up with a spellbook card. Here we go. Wild Boars. So when I see this one, it reminds me of the Trolls. But the Wild Boars. Someone was just telling me recently that this was their favorite. Someone was talking about this being their favorite artwork. Of all the artworks in the game, the Wild Boars. It's really interesting, the color palette on this one. Because you have like this dark scene and this shadowed boar, right? And he's got these light eyes. So when you see it in foil variant, in these foils that have like a facial feature like this, oftentimes the eyes really pop on the foils. But this is like, actually, when you take the time to appreciate the art, it's got an amazing scenic landscape. The detail and just like the unique type of vibe that Vasily paints in is so distinctly unique. You just see it instantly and you think Vasily, right? He's the only one that does this. And this guy, I had him on for the beta break event, and he showed like how he was talking with Elvira Shakarova, who came on and helped translate for him because he's Russian. He doesn't speak any English, right? So she was helping translate, and he was talking about how he does these grand murals on these churches in Russia. Really beautiful murals, and so different from the way he painted for Sorcery. And his portfolio of work, if you go to ArtStation, you can see a lot more of Vasily's work. And the Wild Boars is just kind of cool, you know, where you got this guy prominently featured, the boar, and then this amazing like reddish orange landscape emerging in the horizon behind the forest. Really awesome. Two Fluent says, I love it. I hunt for wild boar every year. It really hits home for me. Cool, man. So ordinary, you hunt for wild boar? That's wild. That's awesome. Do you keep it and like make a nice, hopefully you got a nice ham Easter dinner. Fruits of your labor. I don't know. It's not hunting season though. It might be the timing of Easter is a little problematic. All right. Ordinary beast of bold black bristle. All right. So all this is really interesting, right? Because the value of this is amazing for an aggro deck. It only costs 1 and 1 threshold to cast. So all you need is 1 Earth Atlas Sight, and you can cast this for 2 power level and get off to a quick overpowering start and really control the early aspect of the realm. Ordinary beast of bold black bristle, and you only have the flavor text, no special mechanic. I was once again drowsing when I glanced at a bush, and several wild boar came charging, all in a rush. All right. So let's go to stomach's growling, man. It's lunchtime, isn't it? 1 o'clock. All right. Let's go to Vasily Ermolayev and take a look at what has become of the wild boars. All right. So look at that. It's still a strong aggro card. It's still 1 to cast, 1 threshold, 2 power level, ordinary beast with brindled bristles. So they only changed the type line text. Oh, and they changed the flavor text too. So it also says new flavor text is twere once again drowsy when all in a rush, wild boar came a snuffling straight out of the brush. Vasily Ermolayev. That is a nice looking sample card. Very cool artwork. All of Vasily's artwork is amazing. All the other artists really love Vasily. They tell me that all the time. And they were excited to see him in the beta showcase event. So congrats on the wild boars. What was Eric saying? Oh. Comments don't open until the end of the stream. Okay, so after the stream, comment on the video. Come back and comment if you could, please. Yeah, maybe you can't when it's live, and then that makes sense. Maybe that's why people never comment. I remember the last time Mike pulled a boar, he tried to say you could fetch it with Falconer. You bastard! You bastard! Of course you can fetch it with Falconer. Why couldn't you? Why not? House rules, baby. Golden rule. You can do whatever you want. Wild boar carnitas at Two Fluent's house for Easter this year. Bring me some in Baltimore, my man. That sounds freaking amazing. Homemade carnitas. Is there anything better in life? All I got is Chipotle up in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, we got 9 on the wheel, 9 cards. You got to check periodically because I'm doing so much here on the side. You get flustered and distracted very easily. When I lived in Texas on a ranch, we had wild javelinas. Those things would tear you apart like piranhas. Wild pigs didn't play. Maddening Bells. Maddening Bells, first time on the wheel. He said this guy's overseas in a radically different time zone. So he's currently drooling on his pillow like H-Chow, who's probably like vomiting all over his Easter bunny while the family's trying to enjoy some ham and carnitas. But we got Maddening Bells drooling on his pillow. He said he'll watch it later on his own time. This guy's a massive Drew Tucker fan. So let's hope he's probably going to see this back and be like, dude, who got that common sense? Who got it? I think he actually acquired one recently. So I don't know. He might not come after it. But this guy loves Drew Tucker. So let's hope for a Drew Tucker for Maddening Bells. All right. There's a lot of Drew Tucker. There's Cave Trolls, I know. He really wants to get Mirage. I don't know if I've seen that in a sample card. I want to say maybe. Did Team Covenant pull it, Eric? I think they might have. Let's see. Come on. Drew Tucker. Hurricane. All right, no Drew Tucker, but this is a really cool one by Vincent Pompetti that we've pulled a few times on the channel. Again, it's not, you can't take for granted that you're going to pull every ordinary. And this is pretty cool because we're like maybe not quite halfway through the pack, almost halfway through the pack. And we have not hit, we still have more exceptionals to discover, and we still have the elite or the unique. But the Hurricane is super cool here because it's now called Stormy Seas, of course. There was a lot of change on this card, right? So let's just go to the website and quickly analyze this. I guess let's go through the details first. Hurricane, 5 to cast, 1 threshold. Ordinary magic with devastating consequences. Submerge all minions on water sites. And then the flavor text says ambitions are sundered in the storms of fate. Really nice flavor text on this one. I think this, I want to say this might have been one of the ones where I was a little annoyed that they went away from that flavor text. But I don't know. So, like I say, some of the flavor text in Alpha is still tremendous. Even the ones that I really loved as regular cards. So again, Stormy Seas. It actually became cheaper to cast, which is nice. And yeah, another one. Several cards in this pack went from ordinary to exceptional. So it went from, it's now Exceptional Magic of Maritime Fur. Submerge all minions and artifacts occupying target water site. So it used to be submerge all minions on water sites. Wow. Submerge all minions and artifacts occupying target water site. So you can it's only on target water site, one water site. Look how freaking insanely OP this was. Sure, it was like one more to cast, but submerge all minions on water sites. So all the sites, not target site. That is wild. So it was pretty powerful. And it says, new flavor text says, the sea is angry today, my friends. Again, yeah, I remember that one. The Kramer line. You can't go wrong with that. Hike and hold, men, fly. Bring, due astern, Neptune's belly. I don't know, man. You should have said the sea is angry today, my friends. That would have been enough. All right, Mirage. I pulled one in break number 3. Wow, did I really? Mirage is an amazing card. The artwork on that is wild by Drew Tucker. It really stands out. I pulled one in break number 3. Team Covenant pulled 2 and 2 more for 5 total. Wow. Thanks, man. This guy's got all the facts. Eric, what a guy. Tremendous work you're doing. All right, back to the wheel. 8 to go. The Pursuit of Grails. We got the Alice card coming up next after this one. Emmett. Emmett's on the wheel for 3. So this is his first of 3. All right. So up top, take him off the wheel. 1 instance on the wheel. And then we're going to go to the spell book. And... oh, Magnetic Muzzle. Man, what a sick artwork. Look at the bright red. Red and black. Always incredible. Man, this super popular Brian Smith. Everyone loves Brian Smith, dude. People show his artist proof work in the Collector Arthouse Discord. One guy's like, hey, I just got this Brian Smith artist proof in the Collector Arthouse Discord. And then inevitably, every time you get like 2, 3, 4, 5 more people just start posting all their Brian Smith artist proofs. And they're like, damn, that's sick, that's sick, that's sick. Everybody loves it. You dark, twisted animals. Nicest guy in the world, Brian Smith. And he's got this dark, crazy-ass art, right? Look at this. Wow. An exceptional relic of Eternal Bondage. 4 to cast, the relics, and exceptional. This crazy rare is a sample card. This is a banger. The bearer of this muzzle deals no damage and loses all abilities. This muzzle must be picked up by a minion if able, and it can't be dropped. All right. What a wicked card. Let's take a look. Let's go to Brian's majestic page of beautiful aesthetic art that belongs in every living room across America. Brian is commanding top coin for his art, man. You guys love his paintings, and I'm very happy for Brian that he's doing so well. He's such a great artist. He really is like a purist for art. He did his own thing for ages. All he did was sell his paintings through Instagram full time. You know, that was his life. He didn't take commissions. Really, I think he did some commission work, but he would just paint whatever you wanted to paint. He'd offer it up, take it or leave it. You like my stuff? Good. Buy it. You don't like it? Good. See you later. The ultimate artist, right? You got to love the integrity, the purity, you know, the commitment to his own work, his own vision. And now it's paying off in spades with Sorcery Contested Realm. Nicest guy, man. Everybody loves talking with Brian. Magnetic muzzle. So really sick. This is another upgraded in a way, right? So we pulled several ordinaries that became exceptionals. This is an exceptional that became an elite relic of disquieting silence. So it's only 2 to cast now. Bearer loses all non-basic abilities and can't drop Magnetic Muzzle. At the end of each player's turn, if Magnetic Muzzle is abandoned, that player attaches to a nearby minion. Wow. So it strips you of all non-basic abilities, and you can't drop it. So it just kind of like wipes you of all non-basic abilities. You used to say the bearer of this muzzle deals no damage and loses all abilities. This muzzle must be picked up by a minion if able. Okay. So it's similar. They kind of changed around the wording, but they drastically reduced the casting cost from 4 to 2, but they made it an elite, so now you could only carry 2 in your deck instead of 3. Awesome. What a hit for Emmet. It's probably Emmet, right? I always have a tendency to say Emmet. Nice, man. Dude, that's a great hit. I hope you're happy with that, Emmet. He said, whoa, looks bloody. Dude, that's a sick hit, dude. It's an elite. And it's an exceptional. Exceptionals are extremely rare as sample cards. Anything above ordinary is insanely rare. Ordinaries themselves are crazy rare. But you just hit like a Brian Smith. You can't do much better. All right. Robert, his second of 2. Will come off the wheel. And ooh, so Robert's going to get the Atlas card. And I think this was near the top of the pack, so I'm expecting an exceptional potentially, and not a basic land. Oftentimes, the Atlas card is a basic site. So this is going to be very interesting. Will this be one of the elusive, exceptional Atlas sites? Oh, it is a basic. The Autumn River. Again, I think I pulled this last pack, and it's one of the more beautiful basic lands in the game. My favorite of the basic rivers by Matt Thames. The Autumn River, an ordinary site of refreshing water. Genesis. Look at the top card of your spell book. You may put it at the bottom. So did that prevail in Alpha? Let's take a quick look. Man, that is a really nice artwork. I'm curious too, because like some of the colors kind of, I don't know if Eric tweaked the colors a little bit for Alpha. I know there's a difference in just like print from Alpha to Beta based on card stock and various factors, but I remember, let's go back here really quick. Just admire the card for a moment. I want to tell a story. So early on, they printed these sample cards, right? And Eric was noticing some things about the color saturation that they didn't, I'll say, purely mirror the look of the original paintings. They started to look like a bit different, right? And then he was doing the collector tier original painting reveal. So the 4 Avatar of the Realm, that was a top pledge in Kickstarter. Each of those got one of Severin Pinu's elemental avatars. And I top pledged the Kickstarter. I got the Avatar of Fire. And it's freaking amazing. Oil on canvas, stretch board. Amazing, amazing artwork. And it's one of the elemental avatars, so it's like an absolute grail, right? But then there were 24 other pieces that Eric had acquired from the artist after he commissioned them. He acquired these paintings, and he selected 24 from his collection that he acquired to include in the collector tier pledge. They all knew they would get one of 24. They didn't know what the 24 were yet, and they didn't get to choose, right? It was randomized. So he had a YouTube event, and as he was previewing these pieces, we were commenting in the chat and saying like, wow, that original painting looks phenomenal. It's amazing. It's like so different than the card. And he's like, he made a comment like, yeah, you're right. You know, like the original painting is beautiful. Like maybe I need to go revisit the cards a little bit. Maybe I'll make some adjustments. And he made all kinds of adjustments between that time and the alpha release. But a lot, like he went and he changed it up with the printer or through his digital files to kind of make it more closely represent the original painting. And that story kind of reminded me of that as I'm looking at this beautiful original artwork from the Matt Thames Autumn River, right? So the Autumn River, yeah, you look at your next spell, you may put it on the bottom of your spell book. So that is a pretty powerful effect when it comes into play. So you only get one shot at that because it's a Genesis, but you get to take a look at that card and kind of either pull it or leave it there to pull or put it at the bottom of your spell book. And move on to the next. Robe, was that Robe Rare? Robe Rare. Congratulations on that one. It's really great to have the basic sites as sample cards because obviously they're some of the most meta-relevant cards in the game. All right, back to the Wheel of Names. 6 to go. Let's make sure. 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. We're in good shape here. H-Cho. Is it H-Cho? H-Cho for show. Drooling on my pillow, Cho. Having Easter dinner with the family, Cho. Cannot be bothered to watch the stream, Cho. Can be bothered on my Easter Sunday, Cho. All right. Right off the top. Second of 2. I busted his balls like he asked me to. Everything's right in the world again. All right. We're past the 1 Atlas card. We have not hit a leader unique yet. There were a couple packs that did not have an Elite unique. So that is possible. You hope it doesn't happen, but it could happen. So in some cases, you didn't get the most rare, but we hit like some amazing exceptionals. And we still could in this pack, but exceptionals and ordinaries. We've hit some bangers already. Oh, Headless Haunt. Damn. Jussie, look at that artwork. This is super cool, man. I remember in the early days, this was like a real striking artwork that really excited people. All of Jussie's work. He's one of the more popular artists in the Alpha debut. Just a really cool, flavorful style. Headless Haunt, an exceptional spirit, defies time and space. So his Void Walk at the start of your turn, determine a random location by rolling a d20, teleport this Haunt there. All right, let's take a look at how this one evolved. The Headless Haunt, man. I remember there were some wild combos with this card early on, and people were like, was it the Headless Haunt and the Grim Reaper? Combined, this would be a triple combo. But if you took the Headless Haunt, the Grim Reaper, and Predestination, which is now Key Theory Mechanism, you could control where the Grim Reaper would land, and you could just kill any minion on the board. Was that the combo? I think that was like a big deal early on, I want to say. So let's go take a look at Jussie. Headless Haunt. What a portfolio of work with this guy. All right, so it's still an exceptional. Same casting cost. Wow, it was 3 to cast and 5 power as a sample card. Now it's 4 power level. An exceptional spirit, whereabouts unknown. Void Walk at the start of your turn. Headless Haunt teleports to the top of a random site or void. Okay. It teleports to a random site. Super cool, man. That is a flavorful, awesome, epic card. Man, the artwork on this is nuts. So much going on. Really cool vibe with the colors he chose. Beta got much darker like the samples, though. Yeah. The samples look really good. I remember being really impressed with these when they came out. It was our first taste. I was very fortunate to be one of the first guys to ever see any kind of printed sorcery card. And and see so many of them, so many sample cards. It's wild. So many sample cards, period. I mean, some people will never see a sample card. They're just insanely rare. So I don't say that to sound braggy, but I say that like in a humbling way to say like, wow, it's like freaking amazing. Just like the paintings, you know, like it's such a gift, especially the paintings. I mean, paintings are insane. Eric told me one time, he was like, I think like you, besides myself, you're probably like uniquely, you're probably like the person that's seen the most original paintings in Sorcery, which is just freaking incredible. So many different artists. You got to see them in person, man. When you see the paintings in person, the cards just feel that much more exciting. The Baltimore event, June 14 to 16, the Sorcery Spring Social. There's going to be a bunch of original paintings there. So you guys got to do whatever it takes to get up there. It's going to be super cool and a lot of fun. All right. 5 cards left. Just making sure. 5 names on the wheel. Let's give it a spin. I call it the chicken with its head cut off. Seems appropriate. Now, was the leader unique pulled already? It was not pulled yet. Hopefully there is one in the pack. Emmet. Emmet still got 2 of 3 to go. People are blowing me up on Discord. Don't they know I'm live? Happens every time. All right, guys. Emmet. Psionic Blast. People are going nuts. How many? Seems like we hit 1 million exceptionals, but maybe because there's so many ordinaries that became exceptionals. But people were flipping out for this card. You know, it's got that old school Magic throwback. There was a Psionic Blast and old vintage Magic, right? And they're like, this was like before foils were ever revealed at all, right? They're like, this is going to be the foil of foils. And of course, it is amazing now that we see it with all these rays just blinging up and the eyes, right? Even in non-foil, it looks like these eyes are foiled. Just like an incredible paint job by Alan Pollock. Absolute master, this guy. He's so good. He's going to be in Baltimore this summer. You can meet him and see him in person. He sold all his alpha paintings, so you won't see his alpha originals unless a fan brings it. But I don't know. Maybe Eric will give him a reveal. He's allowing some reveals for Lindsay. He's letting Lindsay do a reveal next week, so he might get some pressure from the other 5 artists that are going to be at the Courtesan Cups Sorcery Spring Social event this summer. But the Psionic Blast, exceptional magic of Repellent Thought. Deal 3 damage to minions near the spellcaster and push them 3 steps away. That's awesome. Repellent Thought, it deals 3 damage and it pushes them 3 steps away. What a great card design. So let's go take a look on the website. Oh, I got to flip to the website. My bad. Sorcery cards. Let me show you another way you can search. In the top banner, you go by sorcery cards. And then I have the artist in alphabetical order by first name. I got Frazetta at the top, you know, because he's the one non-living artist, the legend. The top of the heap here, the king of the mountain. And then I have all the artists like nicely aligned. And Gadu Duaso actually made each of these thumbnail pictures. So great thanks to Gadu. Here he is right here. This guy's the man. Such a nice guy. And he sent me all these files. And he said, hey, you can use these for your website, Mike. And I did, you know. So you could click on any artist and you could see all their cards. Here's Alan Pollock. Psionic Blast, right? And let me go back here, guys. We had the hardest time finding Andrea Modesti. Where's Andrea? Here's Andrea, right? Because he has this old school blog, right? No other social media presence. He's not on Discord, of course. He's not on Facebook even. I got him to sign up for Facebook for like a day. He was in the Sorcery community group because almost all the artists are in there. And I was like, Andrea, man, it's a great time. You got to get on Facebook, dude. And he agreed to do it. And then like a week later, he's like, Mike, I was on there. I tried. I had this nice welcome message when he joined. I was so excited. And he was like, and now I'm locked out. He's like, I don't know what to do. He's like, I'm done. He couldn't get back. He couldn't get logged in. Something happened. I don't know. He's the nicest guy. I got like several of his original paintings. But anyway, let's go check out Alan Pollock. So we were finding these other Andrea Modestis on Instagram. We're like, maybe this is him. Maybe this is him. And then finally I connected with Andrea, and we figured out it was not him at all. The Andrea that I found was like he looks like a model. He had like all these model type images on Instagram, but then I saw him doing these like mysterious live painting sessions where he was doing these paintings. And I was like, this has got to be him, right, Gadu? And he's like, I don't know. He's like, I'm not sure it's him. And then I found the real Andrea Modesti, and he was like 20 years older than the Andrea Modesti that I found. And I was like, you're right, dude. It was not him. But it's weird. What a weird coincidence. They're both like very artistic people. All right. So it became 2 to cast. Exceptional magic of stunning realization. Deal 1 damage to each minion here. They're disabled until your next turn. Wow. So it has a disabled mechanism and it just pings for 1 damage versus this repelling 3 damage, and it repels you 3 steps away. Man, this original, look at this original, look at, wrong click. Look at this original sample card version of Psionic Blast. This thing was an insane powerhouse. 3 damage, which could kill you outright, but it also pushes you away 3 steps. That's unbelievable. I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing in all cases, but it's like very flexible, right? You might hit for the damage, or you might hit just to get something 3 steps away from you, which is super cool. Wow, what a card. That must have been problematic in playtest to have such a radical change in the alpha design. Incredible. All right, guys. Now, we haven't had any frogs today. They're asking about frogs in chat. All right, 4 to go. 4 to go. 4 to go? All right, we got 4. Good. Amet? Ah, Amet. All right. Amet's tapping out. Here we go. Amet did pretty well today. All right, Amet. 4 to go. Here we go. Right off the top. Blank. Oh, man. What a beautiful artwork. Francesca Berald, man. She is mega popular, and her art is super valuable. Her artist proofs are godly. I can't wait till she does more proofs. She's only done a few so far. She will do more eventually. She told me it's probably going to be several months. You know, she has very limited time, but I can't wait to see more from her. But the Blink, it was 0 to cast. Ordinary, quick, short, distance magic. Move target friendly minion to a nearby site. If Blink is cast on your turn, draw a spell. So it had the quick magic, and the mechanic had an effect. If you cast it on your turn, it had a draw effect. Wow, this is a banger, man. The quick mechanic was eliminated. With the exception of dodge roll, which you could play on your opponent's turn, there were several cards that had the quick magic effect. Someone just asked me recently, how many cards have the quick mechanic? Is that what you're talking about, Silly Draco, in chat here? So you pulled Blink, Teleport, and Common Sense. Yeah, so we got some incredible ordinaries in this pack. And the quick mechanic is one of the hottest things in sample packs, because that was a whole mechanic that was eliminated and not used in alpha. And the team says that they wanted to refine this. They still hope to reinvoke this mechanic in future releases, but it was not quite ready for alpha. You know, it just didn't fit well. But the artwork on this, absolutely stunning. Let's take a look at how this changed, because this is very interesting. For the cards that no longer have the quick mechanic, some changed very dramatically. And did the rarity increase to exceptional on this too? No, it's still an ordinary. So now it's 2 to cast. God, the freaking artwork on this. Francesca's so great. Ordinary magic of tactical transmission. An ally teleports to a location it's nearby. Draw a card. All right, so you have to play it on your turn. It has the teleport effect. And you draw a card. An ally teleports to a location that's nearby. All right, so it had the same teleport. It used to say move target friendly minion to a nearby site. So similar type movement or teleport capability. They use the teleport for flavor. And it has a draw mechanic. So you could have, in the past, with this quick mechanic, again, let's revisit this again really quick. Move target friendly minion to a nearby site. So with the quick mechanic, you could have done that on your opponent's turn. So you don't get the benefit of the draw a spell, but you get to move in a similar way like dodge roll, right? On your opponent's turn, you move in the blink of an eye, in a blink. What if they errated this? What if they came out with the quick mechanic in Arthurian Legends, and then down the road, they said, let's allow these quick mechanics again on your opponent's turn. Now that the game is more matured, there's more cards, the meta is more fleshed out, maybe it fits again, right? And maybe it gets errated in a revised set where you could do that with this card. Or there's other cards like it that have that effect. And you have an old sample card that shows the early days of the development thought by the design team. Dude, that is a nice hit. Nice pull. Amet did all right. He went in for 3 on this one, and he did pretty well, my man. Good job. All right. 3 to go. Speaking of 3. Will there be an Elite or Unique? Double G. I went shorthand with the names today. All right, Double G. Here we go. Oh, there it is. The Elite. Liz Danforth. Wow, this is an incredible artwork by Liz. Puppet Master. An Elite Spirit pulls the strings here. Airborne, you control all minions at this Master's location. Wow, the great Liz Danforth. Puppet Master. 6 to cast, 0 power. An Elite Spirit pulls the strings here. What incredible flavor. The Puppet Master pulls the strings. Liz Danforth, one of the greatest fantasy artists of the past few decades. Oh my goodness, what an incredible hit. Dude, is Greg watching this? That is amazing. This is definitely the first I've ever pulled this. Tell me that's true, Eric. Confirm it, buddy. Confirm it from the list. Puppet Master. Wow, Liz. I was just talking to Liz recently about her Mirror Realm Artist Proof Series playmat. Dude, those are flying off the shelves. People loved this Liz Danforth art. They loved the Mirror Realm. I secured number 4 out of 100 because I was in her Patreon. I had early access. You got to join the Patreon, guys. Support great artists who are on Patreon. You got Liz Danforth. Lindsay Crumet had one. I think she paused it for a while because she was busy. I think she might be reinvigorating that. Elvira Shakarova, Ed Bear Jr., Liz Danforth, if I didn't say it already. Who else is on Patreon? I don't want to leave anybody out. Marta Molina. You got to support the artists. Support artists, content creators. I have a Patreon. You can support me too. You can support the artists. It's great for the artists, right? Because you can see their work. You get a window behind the curtain. You see early releases of things. You get special access to hot stuff like their playmats. Oh, man. What a great card. What a great card. I'm so happy. Even though it's not a unique, it's an Elite. Eric, has it been pulled? Puppet Master and Headless Haunt, only the second time each was pulled. Wow, really? Headless Haunt has only been pulled 2 times ever? An exceptional card? And Puppet Master, only the second card. Pop 2. Pop 2, Puppet Master. Wow. Unbelievable. Liz, let's check this out. All right, so the Puppet Master is 6 to cast. It has 1 damage, 1 power level instead of 0. An Elite Spirit pulls the strings. I like that. They got rid of the word here. You don't have to say pull the strings here. Just pulls the strings. Short and sweet. Airborne, Genesis. Gain control of all untapped minions here until Puppet Master leaves the realm. Wow. So, really cool effect, man. Wow, 6 to cast. You control all minions at this Master's location. Amazing. And now they added a wrinkle. You all tap minions here until Puppet Master leaves the realm. So you gain control of tapped minions. In this one, you control all minions at this Master's location. So if they were untapped, I assume you could gain control on your turn and then attack with them immediately. I don't know. This is a wild card. The artwork is sick. You got, guys, look at the art. This might be Liz's best artwork. I often say, and I talked to Liz, man, when was it? Like early 2022. I was talking to her about potentially doing an interview. It was like going to be one of the first interviews I was going to do, but she was super busy, and it never worked out. I should circle back because she's such an interesting person. I had dinner with her at the IX event last year with her and Jeff Menges and Drew Tucker and Alan Pollock, all great people, great artists. And it was really cool. I picked up Liz at the hotel, and we were driving. She was telling me old stories about, WotC and Magic and TSR as we were driving over to the restaurant. And, I've talked to her a bunch, like through Discord and stuff. And she's just got so many great stories, wealth of knowledge and information. And I remember, like, one of the first times I talked to her, she was telling me about Puppet Master and some of her other pieces and how they were inspired by, like, her travels and real life places she had visited. If you join her Patreon, you could find articles about this. She's definitely told the story of Mirror Realm. And I think I got to go back and read her messages about Puppet Master, but there's just, look how incredible this artwork is. It's just so great. There's so much detail, and just like the quality is masterful. I don't know how people can paint like this, man. It takes like incredible patience, incredible focus, and skill to blend the paint, the colors, the fine detail. Unbelievable. Whose card was that for? It was Double G, right? I forgot to put his sleeve on top. That's a bold statement, Mike. All of Liz's art is beyond amazing. Yeah, I completely agree. I like Royal Bodyguard because of the historical significance, but man, this Puppet Master is something else. Look at her artworks. Planner Gate, which of course was the art used for the pledge pack. I remember telling her that after it was revealed. I was like, "Hey Liz, guess what? You're not going to believe that you're using your art for the pledge pack for Kickstarter." And she was super excited and happy to hear that. It looks beautiful on the packs. And then, is that right? Let me see. They stuck with that, right? It's been so long. I got one of those? Let me see. For you guys that miss Kickstarter, it's been a long time, man. Look at this. The Planar Gate. Sorcery Contested Realm Pledge Pack. Sorcery SCR-06. I got a bunch of these. Look at these pledge packs. Dude, if you guys don't have a pledge pack, you got to get these pledge packs. They're a great collectible. Look at these. It's just great to own. Well, in the Avatar pledge, you get a bunch, but it's cool to own like a few of these. They have the tokens in there. You could feel it just like rubbing your thumb across it. You got the little mini tokens in those guys. But yeah, amazing artwork by Liz. Hoarder. Yeah, I am a hoarder. I sell nothing. I sell nothing of my own. But yeah, great artwork by Liz. They're all great. I mean, her Court Jester, let me go back here. The Court Jester was like a record sale. People went nuts for that one. She sold that privately, got a big offer on that. I think she offered it actually with like a really high buy it now, and someone just like snagged it. Evil Presence is great. Man, you're right. It's hard to pick a favorite. Planar Gate is masterful. Puppet Master, though. Look at Puppet Master. It's so freaking good. The Royal Bodyguard with its historical significance. You got to go to behind the art, right? I did one for Royal Bodyguard. Go read up on the history of this. This is a very famous Spanish work of art. Velázquez. Las Meninas. Look at this. Beautiful. Someone said, isn't this copyright infringement? No. There's an expiration of that on this. This is a public domain piece, right? And then Liz did her own take. This is Velázquez right here in the stairwell in the back. And then as this interesting little wrinkle. So what she did, look at them side by side, right? You have the royal bodyguard. So she inserts the royal bodyguard up front, protecting the royal family, right? So you have the little girl, this other lady here. You have Velázquez in the background there. Similar scene, zoomed quite a bit, right? Because you don't want like a large abstract view here. You need a central focal point for the piece, for the card. So there you have it. The royal bodyguard is the one that's prominently featured. And then she put herself here on the left, but she did so very subtly, right? She's right here on the left. This is Liz Danforth, a self-portrait. But it's subtle. It's in the background, like you wouldn't really notice at first. And it's kind of like a younger version of herself. But she just thought it cool to like insert herself into the piece in a humble kind of way that doesn't make it the central feature of the art. But she inserted herself just like the artist Velázquez did in his own piece. So it's symbolic, right? You have Liz and then you have the royal bodyguard. And let me see. I think I got... Yeah. She had this at the... Yeah. There's art everywhere, guys. It's all around us. The art is all around us. At the IX art show, she had these prints of the royal bodyguard. I had to get one. So this is number 2 of 75. This is a limited print. I think our guy Centerpoint got number 1. That bastard. He beat me to it. I got the 2 of 75 by Liz Danforth. Great artwork by Liz. That's a real nice piece. All right. We got all kinds of interesting things on the shelf over here. Ah, man, I'm so hungry. I'm just so hungry. There, got 2 more. 2 more to go. 2 to go. I got my water at least. Filthy Casual. Great name. Yo-Yo B. 2 to go, guys. Sal's going to bring up the rare going last. He was the last one to buy into the pack break. And he's going to get the last card. Maybe he'll have some last card magic. We could still hit like a counter spell or something, which would be wild. Here we go. Ooh, the Coral Reef Kelpie. Can never go wrong with the great Melissa Benson. I just featured a artwork I did of Melissa's collaboration I did for Patreon supporters. I think they all sold out like instantly in Patreon. What was it, last year? Maybe even the year before we did that collaboration. And it's funny because she was kind of nervous. She was like, oh, you know, sometimes I've done things like this and they don't all sell. And I was like, they're going to sell. They're going to sell. Trust me. So she did these beautiful, I'll show it in a minute, guys. Let's focus on the card. Then we'll go to the community page. Coral Reef Kelpie, an ordinary beast of the tidal wilderness. Submerge, the last free land lies under the sea. Beautiful color palette on this one. As always, a hallmark of Melissa Benson artwork. So let's go to her cards. Melissa Benson. Coral Reef Kelpie. 3 to cast, 3 power. Same name. An ordinary beast of tidal wilderness. Similar. They got rid of the word the. Submerge. And then the flavor text says the last free land lies under the sea. They changed that to why'd the Kelpie cross the shoal to get to the other tide? Come on now. Come on now with that nonsense. The last free land lies under the sea. You gotta leave good enough alone sometimes, guys. Why'd the Kelpie cross the shoal to get to the other side? All right, let's go check out the Benson post. So it was a Happy Easter post. Oh my god. Well, there's so much action going on Facebook. I can't even keep up with all the comments. What is this? After Easter, what happened to my post here? Oh, is this the live chat? I hope this is working for people on Facebook. Cards are all going to be HP by the time Mike's done shuffling. As Brian had said that. I don't know if is my multicast not working on the Facebook group page. I always multicast these on Collector Arthouse YouTube and the Sorcery community page, so everyone could enjoy it. Look at this. So we did this collaboration. I was loading my art folios. I just got this new art folio because I needed them in like 3 different sizes to house my paintings that need to be framed. I might go to the frame shop on Tuesday, guys. Big news. Big news. With our buddy, let me close this. With our buddy Blue U on the Discord. He lives like an hour from me, and he's got this framer we're gonna go talk to. I'm gonna bring like all my paintings in there, probably. Not the Gadu, but you know, the unframed ones, and maybe get a few lined up. But we did this collaboration with Melissa Benson for Collector Arthouse Patreon. You guys can go check it out. It's in the links in my link tree. If the Patreon makes sense for you, I'd appreciate the support there. But we do these embellished print projects with a lot of the different artists that I work with across Sorcery. And for this one, it was inspired by like the Philosopher's Stone, one of the first embellished print projects I did with Severin Pinu, where she printed the Philosopher's Stone with the stone removed, and then she completely recreated the stone itself. Not the Ouroboros, but the stone inside, right? So Melissa Benson did something similar, where she printed these with the gem removed in each of them, right? And then she completely redid by hand the gemstone in each of these prints. And it looks like it's just a normal print, right? You can't even tell. It's like so masterfully done. It looks like just a regular print, but they look so striking, so great in person. I'll probably bring these to the Sorcery Spring Social in June to show these to people, along with all of the embellished prints. So they're usually a limited number series of 10 to 15 quantities. There's 3 of the Pathfinder for Drew Tucker. There's the only ones I have left in stock at the moment. But I'm going to bring each of these. For each of these series, I keep like an artist proof version from the artist, from the collaboration we do. And that way, when I go to these shows and stuff, I could show them to you guys. And eventually, maybe I'll have them framed up on the walls and stuff. The problem is I have a bunch of original paintings, which are likely to go up once those are done. But we are on the last pack from sale 1, 2, 3, 4. We always spin just for tradition's sake. Even on the last contestant, Mr. Sale 1, 2, 3, 4. It is Sal, confirmed. All right. The Ascalon Phoenix is such great art. Yeah. That is a great one by Melissa. Underrated. All right. The Fenval Muse, Jeff Menges. So we hit a lot of the iconic legendary artists. The Fenval Muse, an ordinary mortal, and conduit of conjuring. 2 to cast, 1 power, spellcaster. Where the waters do agree, it is quite wonderful the relief they give. Jane Austen. All right, let's take a look at the Fenval Muse. Jeff Menges art. Yeah, it's a great painting. All right. This was in the collector tier. Actually, I think I know the guy who won this painting. And I think he kept it. At one point he was debating maybe offering this for sale. We were thinking about auctioning it. And so that could happen someday. But yeah, let me know if you guys might be interested in that. I think this one still might be out there. And it might be in the hands of someone who might be willing to move it someday. Oh, Timbo's out of here. Head out to dinner with the family. All right, take care, man. Enjoy your Easter. Have a good one, buddy. Fenval Muse. 1 to cast, 0 in alpha. An ordinary mortal of quiet inspiration, spellcaster. Whenever Fenval Muse casts a spell, you may trigger the genesis of a nearby river. As the sun troubles the morning, she stirs my heart. Wow, that is a nice line. See, there's a good example of a nice flavor text change for alpha. Really cool. All right, guys, we're through the pack, so we'll do a review of the pack. If there's any topic you guys want to hit really quick, we can do that. I try to keep these things within 2 hours now, and we're right on schedule. When I'm only doing a sample pack and like a preview to open, I can pull that off. But if there's any topics you guys want to hit quickly before we wrap it up, let me know. Fenval Muse, Coral Harpy, the Puppet Master, Blink, Psionic Blast, Headless Haunt, Autumn River, always great to hit an Atlas, basic land, the Awesome Magnetic Muzzle, Hurricane, Wild Boars, Cloud Spirit, Fey Changeling, Outback Strider, very rare card, Common Sense, and Teleport. Another solid pack, a lot of ordinaries that became exceptionals, a great mix of artists. The big banger, the Puppet Master. What test cards do I have? So I have like play test cards, and I have spellcraft cards. Let's take a walk down memory lane. I get this question every so often. What spellcraft cards do I have? So let's take a look. Get the weapons out of the way. All right. So I do have, let's zoom a little, try to reduce the glare. I might have to mess with my lighting. When you go to the binder and the sleeves, sometimes you get some issues. So let's go like that. I don't want to make it too dark, but, and then let's see if I can zoom out without glare problems. That's not bad. All right, so we got a couple Common Sense. I actually gave someone a common sense recently. I haven't sold any of these. I did give away a few. But this is Spellcraft. Very rare early days collectible. The beautiful Spellcraft card design. Same art by Francesca Barald that we're used to from the Spellbook. But you have the Spellcraft name change. Polarizing filter. Is that what it takes? That's a good idea, man. I wonder if I could do that. I don't know much about photography, but Waypoint Portal, Jeff Easley, Eastern Dragon, right? That changed to East-West Dragon. So we have some name change on some of these. The Rimland Nomads, Ornithopter. This is super interesting, right? Because you have the Amy Weber Ornithopter in Magic the Gathering, and then this was the early name of the glider by Elvira Shakarova. It was once known as Ornithopter in the very, very early days. I don't know that we ever saw that on a sample card or even in the digital files. That name changed so early on, but when Eric commissioned Elvira, this card was called Ornithopter. And there it is as a Spellcraft card. Very cool, very interesting piece of history there. Of course, you got to have the Boss Troll. The elusive Backstab, super hard to get in Alpha. The Spiralich. All right, now we're going double paged, right? And we're going to have some glare issues. So you have the Shackle Cerberus, which became the Cerberus in Chains. Quarrel Kobolds. The Firelands of Freet, right? That one's worth taking a look. Because this one did not make it into Alpha. I think we're going to see this in an Angels and Demons deck someday. Let's take a closer look at this. This is super interesting. Firelands of Freet. 4 to cast, 4 power level. An elite but uncontrollable mythic emerge. So you got the different card type, right? And we're seeing this on some of the curios, on some of the sample cards, the word mythic, right? That was removed. Airborne movement +1. The Efreet must move towards enemies and attack them if able. Really cool piece of history there with the Efreet. The Grey Wolves. Everybody loves the Wolves. Melissa Benson. The Panorama. Dan's Girl, the Manicore. Nah, it's not the Manicore. You like the other one, right? You like the other one. The Spell. Battering Ram. The Yorick Crossbowman. We've talked about this one before on the channel, where the tower would come up into the text box, and then that was changed, where it tops off like right here below the text box. So there's an adjustment on the image. Sleeping Giant. This is an alternate art version, right, guys? One of the many examples where, so the Liz Danforth Sleeping Giant is the one that made it into the Alpha debut. This one from Elvira Pawlikowska did not make it into Alpha. But it's a very nice artwork, right? You could see this being used and revised. Simon talked about how maybe in a few years they'll have a revised set and they need compelling reasons to make it marketable. Here's one. Different artwork, right? So that's almost a certainty that you're going to see sets with new artwork in the future. The Peasant Rebellion is a really cool one. The Bellman Longbowman is great artwork by Modesty. You got Rolling Boulders. Another example here. Rolling Boulder with the different artwork from Doug Kovacs. There's only a few Doug Kovacs pieces in Alpha. But here you go. The Jussie Pilkus one is the one that was used in Alpha. What else jumps out? Doomsday Prophet, man. How about that one, Spittler? Spittler watching? He collects the Doomsday Prophets. Doesn't have this one, though. Does not have this one. The Riddle Sphinx, Dan says. The Doomsday Prophet. Spellcraft style. Awesome. Yeah, this is a cool artwork of Boulder. I really like that. The Fiery Inferno, man. I've featured this one several times. Hey, look at that. I got a Puppet Master in here. This is sick. By Brian. When this was commissioned by Brian, it was called Genocide. Sorry, I'm moving it everywhere. The Fiery Inferno. Brian Smith. Wow, this. You know what I'm noticing here, guys? There's no artist attribution on this card. So it was not in the print file at this stage. Usually you'd have the artist name at the bottom, and it says nothing down here. I never noticed that before, and I've had this card for quite a while. Very interesting. Brian Smith. I know it's Brian because when I interviewed him, we talked about it. And he said it was called Genocide. So I broke that news like ages ago. The rattlesnakes. Rattlesnakes becomes pit vipers, right? Mikhail Nagypal. Great artist. There's your Puppet Master. Legendary Magic of Massive Destruction. Yeah, sick. Look at these little token guys. You already had the quarter-size tokens, the dual lands, the ruins. You got Critical Strike. The dual land ruins by Seagrave is awesome. You got play sets of the basic lands. Not quite a play set, actually. This is each of the different towers. And it was called only Tower in the past, right? So he changed the name to Gothic Tower for this one, for example. You got Gothic Tower, Lone Tower. They were only Tower, only Desert. Very simplistic in the early days. And there you go. And then I got a little sample card collection, or artist proof collection going. How about that one, guys? Keith Era Mechanism. Gorgeous. Promo cards. Bunch of champions I'm collecting. Then there's some random beta cards. Oh, look at that. Boris. These are not like the Dust Boris. These are the old fantasy card versions. Bursting out. These are from the 90s. I just thought it'd be fun to fill out a page for the binder of the Boris cards. All right, there's your walk in history of time. Put that baby away. All right, guys. So next weekend, we probably will not do a break. We had a good turnout today. Appreciate it. Like 40 to 50 people throughout. It's pretty awesome for an Easter Sunday. Thanks for tuning in. Next week, as I say, if I get a chance, I'll do an impromptu live like I did on Friday. And we'll just talk about sorcery. We'll talk about any questions or topics on your guys' mind. We'll probably take a week off from the breaks and just enjoy a weekend off. Congrats to everybody that participated. It was really cool to... it's always fun to open these sample packs and enjoy the history of the game and all the evolution and change therein. I can't get this to lay out in a clean way where you can see them all. It's too hard. It's too many cards. 15 cards. Too much glare. Common sense. Look at that. What a pack. Oh, I lost everything. Impromptu lives are a good time. Thank you all for being here. Have a great Easter Sunday with your family and friends. And talk to you soon. Take care.